Well, it started out.
Learning to fly is what we think the Allen Eagles are. So welcome to week 12 of the BEBC BS Podcast. A little bit late this week, but we're here nonetheless.
We care about you.
We do care. We don't want to leave y'all hanging. So here we are. Let's dig right into it. Talk about a Allen Eagle victory over Plano West. 59-0.
How many different ways can you say drubbing? It was.
Did they punt the ball at all? They went for it on fourth down almost every time.
Allen, you mean?
No,
Plano West.
Plano West. They went for it a lot.
Yeah, that guy
they
took
punted
4
a few
steps.
times.
He took 4 steps.
He did take 4 steps. You're right. He was a long step punter. But first half wasn't as sharp as they probably should have been. 17-0 at halftime. Defense is playing well. I texted Matt Welch at halftime and said, dude, what are the yardage totals for Plano West? He goes, 100 yards total and 5 yards passing. And then he sent that just as they ran their first play of the third quarter and they lost 4 yards. So it's like, okay, they're down to 96. But
Well, the 100 yards, I think at least 60 or 70 of that was that one run by the quarterback. That was about it.
Yep. When I went back and watched the Plano broadcast online, the announcers were, they were kind of shocked that it was only 17-0. And so they said when they came back out for the second half, they were wondering if Plano West had left everything, on the field in the first half, because they were like, man, they had their heart and soul in it, and then Allen commenced to ramping up the productivity a little bit.
Well, in the first half, things I noticed, Marcus Thomas and Luke Jaksic and Austin Price and DeAndre Davis were just living in the backfield. They were putting lots of pressure. Hand off to the running back, and they've already got him halfway tackled.
Yeah, there was a couple of times the tackler, the quarterback, and the running back were all in the same bubble.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where they almost handed it off to our linemen.
Yeah.
which is going into the game, we talked about Plano West having offensive line troubles, and it was clearly evident that they were overmatched really, really quickly, and they were going to struggle to move the ball, and they certainly did. They finished with less than 200 yards total offense, and you can't win a whole lot of games like that.
No, but that cheerleader on the sidelines had more moves than the football team did.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't catch him, kudos to whoever you are.
Yeah, Plano West male cheerleader in the middle doing the drop splits.
He was awesome, and he was high entertainment value in the third and fourth quarter when things had slowed down a little bit. But, he was great. So love seeing that. Allen, get you one of those. We certainly cheer him on and encourage somebody to have that much school spirit even when you're getting drubbed like they were.
Does Nolan have any eligibility there?
If Nolan does the splits like that,
We're going to be calling the hospital in the gurney. And
it's crazy. Back to the game, though. One thing I noticed, and I spoke to James this Friday night, I thought about Grant. And, Grant is now 5 starts in, really. He played some last year, but he never started, and it was never, quote, unquote, his team. But I think you're starting to see in the last 2 games, he's starting to understand it. The game's not too fast for him. He's sitting in that pocket a little bit longer. And when he does, good things are happening. And certainly this week, he and Theo were definitely connecting.
Beautiful pass in the end zone.
On that out and up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Yeah, you could see it. If you were watching Theo on that play, which I was, you could see he's like, oh my gosh, he's got him, 3 seconds in.
Well, I think that one long pass, one of the first passes in the first quarter that he threw
Schlecker.
to Schlecker, Schlecker pulled a T-Rex on it, and like Theo had done, he short-armed it. It was coming right over him. He had his arms stretched out, and then he kind of retracted his arms a little early, but the ball was placed perfectly. So I think
Him
Grant did a
stepping
good
up
job.
into the pocket. When you get that pressure and you have to step up, and that's not always the most comfortable area, but it's there, and he did a very good job of, able to release his passes with a good, not short follow through or anything, just nice zip to his throws too. So.
It's good to see. Like to see more of it.
Sorry,
Goodness.
dying over here. Yeah, it was the offense was clear. The offense was clearly clicking, and we'll brag on Theo for a minute. He's displaying what he's rated at. I mean, some of the moves he made on those guys after the catch or highlight reel stuff.
Yeah, and over on that fade route they threw in one in the end zone, he jumped over the guy.
Yeah,
I had position on him, and he jumped over and grabbed it.
So he had 9 for $135 or $144. I think $135 and 3 touchdowns. And Brock had another Brock game, 144 yards, and a big run on the fake punt. As you can hear in the background,
Hear that crowd roar?
crowd
Still
roars.
roaring.
They are. That's but another big game for Brock, and just overall, I think the offense has really, really stepped it up. Now, again, the level of competition the last 2 weeks maybe dropped down from the first 3 games, but at least during this, it was crisp and it was clean and not many mistakes. Still too many penalties for my liking.
Yeah.
And there are some things on the offensive line I wish they'd clean up. But, you score 59 points, you can't complain. You shouldn't complain.
No.
But it's the coach's job to clean that stuff up as it gets a little tougher. So, defense, everybody played pretty well. As you said, they spent a lot of time in the Plano West backfield most of the night. So,
We got a new linebacker, Angelini.
Angelini.
Linguini.
Angelini.
Yeah. I thought that was
Those
kind of
announcers were
a great announcer.
struggling.
And
just a little bit.
Angelini.
Angelini.
Part of our Italian connection.
That's right.
Mr. Angeloni, yeah, we're with you, man.
Yeah.
We feel your pain.
But how about a little shout out to Sloan Lewis, safety number 24.
Talk.
Went up and just laid their quarterback out, I believe it was. Wasn't that? God, the mosquitoes, Mark.
We got a mosquito issue here, so y'all keep talking. I'm going to close the door.
Man, jeez, I guess.
They're
They're drawn to
That
carbon
outhouse door's got to
dioxide.
go.
All right, everybody on the podcast, there's going to be some noise in the background.
We're getting rid of skaters.
I got a machine gun.
Should have brought my skeeter swatter, electronic skeeter swatter there.
Anyway, towards the end of the game, I think it was the fourth quarter, the guy came around and he just went running up and just laid somebody out. So there you go, Sloan
That was Mike
Lewis.
Sweeney.
There you go, Sloan Lewis. Salute.
So, yeah, defense played well, offense played great, and 59-0, Allen improves to 5-0, 2-0 in district play. And now everybody can sit back and talk about that team to the south.
The commissioner's team.
The commissioner's
one that we've
team.
owned for so many years. Yeah. Well, they're still 4-1, so that should be a good test for maybe a quarter.
Plano is up Friday night. Oh, gosh.
That was pretty close.
That was you.
Telling you, baby.
That must be from years gone by because that hadn't played much in the last. We have all sorts of things we can do with Plano, but Plano Rosentown 4-1. They had a loss this week to McKinney. A couple of us spent some time at that game on Friday night. So let's
Scouting.
talk about Plano.
Yeah. There's a few good players on both the McKinney team and the Plano team. McKinney has got an absolutely fantastic running back, number 9.
Linebacker also.
Linebacker also. What do you guys think about the Plano team? Anything
the
jump out
quarterback-
at you?
Quarterback's
Yeah,
got
that-
it going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
other than the interception that he threw late in the
Yeah.
game to give the game away. But yeah,
He can run.
yeah,
Yes.
he's dual threat.
the thing that we'll see this game that we haven't seen is the option, and they ran that pretty well. And I just remember our coach would always say the most important person on the field is the guy with the ball. So when you face an option team, you want to make the quarterback get rid of the ball. So, and
How do you do that, Thad?
you knock the tar out of it.
There you go.
And, so it's going to be very pertinent that we set the edge and force them to give that ball up, and then the next guy fill his job and lay the wood to Mr. Cumbie.
I seem to remember a certain Mesquite quarterback a few years back that we,
Lit up.
yeah, he was hobbling around for a while. Yeah, he's still in the little wagon, per se.
But it'll be a different look for sure. And then Plano always seems to try to hold things back in their previous games and then show them against us. Some of the passing that we saw that one game when we beat them on the 2-point conversion breakup.
35-34.
Yeah, they were running some routes and doing
We
some
hadn't seen.
double moves and things like that. So I don't know if they've been holding back for this game, but we'll see. I'm sure we'll see some different stuff out of them than they've shown in previous games. So be interesting.
Yeah, and it has been interesting with Cumbie and having such big explosive offensive plays. They've been kind of taking on that moniker as a running team, and I think our defense is going to really challenge that and push them out of their comfort zone. So the quarterback is going to have to scramble a lot.
Our commissioner this week tried to pull a slick one on all of us and tried to reach out to Jadon at the school by emailing him and phone calls trying to get him to send us a little text or response, and she failed. She didn't get it done, so nice try, honey.
The week's not over yet.
Yeah.
So what's he going to do? Reach out to you?
No, he's going to reach out to us.
Well,
He better have his nose
does
in
that
the
show that
playbook.
he's more of a woman than the commissioner? I mean,
You ain't woman enough to be our commissioner?
that means he's not as fun as the West basketball coach. Is what it
No,
That could be.
nobody's funner than him.
Yeah, he's great.
He's
Good
more
guy.
funner than a lot of folks.
He's real fun. He's real funner.
Yeah. Well, after seeing Plano for a little while on Friday night, I've just, again, you can win with offense, but you win championships with defense. And watching McKinney and Plano, both those teams will struggle mightily against the Allen offense. I don't see the athletes on that side of the ball for either one of those teams to slow down Allen, which will automatically put both of them in a situation they don't want to be in, because both those teams want to run the ball. And Plano even did it against McKinney. They would, the 25-second clock, it was under 5 seconds every time they snapped. And they're going to do that against Allen because they've done it for years. And what happens then is if they don't produce and if they don't score, they look up and they're down 21-0 at the end of the first quarter.
is. You have to throw.
And they may have held the ball for 10 of the 12 minutes, but they're still down 21-0. But you've got them throwing the ball, and that's not what they're good at. And when you throw the ball, it's just going to turn those defensive linemen loose, like you said. Austin Price and Jernigan and those boys are going to have a field day. So I was hoping to see more from Plano, being undefeated, and Cumbie had a great night against Geyer a couple weeks ago, and was hoping to see some of that. Yeah, he is very quick and he can be explosive, but McKinney didn't let him have very. I don't know what he ended up with rushing the ball, but he didn't have any type of game like he had the week before. So it'll be interesting to see, but I don't think this is going to be close. It shouldn't be, based upon what I've seen from both teams.
I'm going to go Thad here for just a minute. I had a brother-in-law that played outside linebacker in college, and he were playing Air Force, and Air Force was the best wishbone team in the country back in the 80s. And he got ABC Player of the Game at outside linebacker, and I watched him the whole game, and I think that the outside linebacker is the most important person when you play an option team like that. Because they can, like Thad was saying, you cannot hit the quarterback and fake that you're going to do it and then run after the running back after he pitches it. But if you don't nail that quarterback he'll continue to eat you up. And so that's why, like Marcus Thomas, I think it'll be fun to watch him just to see what he does if he's playing outside, because they do move him around a lot. But just to watch the outside linebackers to see how they attack Plano's offense, I think will be really interesting.
I'm sure Kane has got something dialed up that will be effective. Yeah, he always does. He figures it out. This is nothing he hadn't seen before either, because it's the same offense since
42.
Thank you. I was giving me a year there.
Yeah. No, that was the 60s.
Yeah, since they stopped winning.
The leather helmets. When did they stop using the leather helmets?
Oh, it's been a while. But now Friday night, 7:30, back at home again. So we'll see what happens. But good luck to both teams. Everybody stay healthy. We'll see what happens. Another 90-degree day on Friday. You know, this fall weather, it doesn't last. So
I think it'll cool off once the sun goes down, but it's going to be.
Bring your shorts
warm
again.
still.
Don't be wearing jeans.
Oh, and it's a pink out, so everybody pink yourself out.
Pink out. Find a way to find something pink.
I'll have to dig through and find something. I'm sure I got something somewhere.
We'll look and see. Thad, I'm sure you can come up with something. Jennifer's probably got something you can throw on.
Red sock and the underwear load.
There you go.
And
That's a cheap and easy way to do it.
I want to get a pair of those sweatpants that say pink across the back.
oh my gosh, what a great idea. Anybody got their Amazon?
Isn't there like a shop that's called 16 Plus that we could go to?
It has to be 42 plus.
I'm sure we'll find something to come up with. Let's talk about the district for just a little bit. Two games in, you have Plano, you have Allen and McKinney sitting at 2-0.
McKinney, Matthew Gadek, the running back number 9. He also plays outside linebacker, does some double duty. He's a baller.
Iron Man football.
He's short and he's quick. He's not 6 foot. They've got him listed at 6 foot. But he's speedy. He's speedy, and if you don't account for him all the time, if they're running that option, they do a little bit of running that read option. They'll burn you too.
And to me, that's a surprise team. On the positive side is McKinney. I don't think anybody thought they'd be 2-0 in district, much less 5-0 overall. Yeah. Now they do have a big game this week against Geyer. Game is in McKinney. I think, of course, I thought the Plano McKinney game was going to be high scoring. I really think this one will be high scoring.
Geyer kind of pulled out a little whoop-it stick last week to make up for their loss before.
Yeah, I think they'll come back though too. I think they may have found their footing. I think Plano and McKinney both were just just found the right teams to play and ended up where they're at now. And I really don't expect them. I think Geyer will end up being second.
Yeah, McKinney's supposed to have had a weaker schedule. I think if you guys would agree, than Plano did, but I'm not sure that either one of that says very whole lot.
It'll be interesting to see how that game turns out. Plano and Geyer and Boyd and East are all tied at 1-1. I think the biggest disappointment to me in the district so far has been East.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, Geyer beating them 55-24.
Yeah, they're 2-3 overall, and according to Professor Diggs, they haven't looked good really all year. And even in their wins, it hasn't been anything special. So that team, I thought after last year was going to take steps forward.
Yeah, and they're not.
It hadn't happened. So then again,
Plano East plays Boyd this week, so that's going to be interesting because we throttled Boyd, but then Boyd ends up winning last week against Wiley. I mean, go figure. I thought Wiley was going to be better than that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
like
crazy.
Having a Katy schedule, being in a Katy schedule.
Yeah, I can't seem to pick them this time.
Yeah, it's tough. And, every team outside of Allen is giving up more than 20 points a game. And so I go back to playing some defense, and nobody's playing any defense outside of the Eagles. And so that's going to make for a tough district for any of them against each other. Who's going to step up and, give up 15 points rather than giving up 25.
It'll all be 45-42 or whatever every game.
It could be, except for when Wiley and Boyd played last week. But
So in district ranking, we're looking at Allen number 1, McKinney number 2, and then it's a bunch of
they're all a bunch of number 2.
Yeah.
a bunch of 50-50s after that.
Tied for second.
and
5 of them.
and I'll be, God bless Plano West. I don't know what's going on over there, but
Not a whole lot.
if they win a game this year, I'll be shocked.
Well, I went and dropped my son off over at the Ford games tonight. And there were more people there than there were on the Plano West side.
This last week.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Horrible. It's embarrassing.
Second largest school in the state, and they, we did. David and I looked at each other before the game, so let's do an over under on how many fans are going to show up, and I think we stuck it at 200.
I said 150.
Yeah, 150 is what you
And
said.
I think they actually got over 150.
Yeah, but not many.
Yeah,
Well, and you
wasn't
can't count too close to halftime because that's all them Allen band parents moving over there to go watch their
So you can
kids.
video the
Yeah,
risk game.
something. But
Who I believe placed 9th in the HEB band competition.
they did. They
Finals
were
in place ninth.
6th in prelims and finished 9th overall. So, congrats to those guys, and they did it all in time and weren't penalized. So
Yeah.
they figured it out.
It'll only get better. They'll be better next time.
Yeah,
They've got the Hearst marching competition.
they got Wiley this weekend,
Wiley this weekend.
and then it's the UIL competition the week after. So they got a couple busy weeks coming up for those guys. So keep at it. Way to go, Escadrille. Rumor has it.
Escadrille.
Go at what?
Go Escadrille.
Go Escadrille.
Rumor has it.
What?
Yeah.
Rumor?
Oh, I'm excited about this one.
Why are you?
Look at the smile on his face.
Why are you excited?
Man, because some of the rumors that have been coming down rumor mill have been kind of far-fetched and not really much of a chance to coming true. But this week, rumor has it that we're going to have a special guest at our game and tailgate, a very much esteemed person in our community.
Really?
Esteem. By whom?
Yeah, it's lowly esteemed, though. Rumor has it that Nolan Schrader is going to be at this week's football game.
No way.
No.
Yeah.
Total rumor.
Well,
The reason I think the chances of it being true is he's bringing the grill so we can cook fajitas.
well, I tell you what, let's do this.
Until he just heard this.
Nolan, can you confirm that you will be there on Friday night?
Really?
Really?
Oh, what?
Really?
Nolan's not here tonight.
Chirp, chirp.
So we have no confirmation of that rumor, but we'll find out Friday night as to whether he'll be there or not.
It is interesting. I believe that we've scored over 50 as long as Nolan doesn't show up to the game.
Huh.
Wow.
Correlation?
Correlation to that?
Yeah,
Coincidence or correlation?
could be both. Could be both. Well, Nolan, buddy, we hope you're there because you're bringing the grill and we're
See you on Friday.
screwed without you. So
Put it on the concrete.
there you go. Oh yeah, we could heat it on
Hot
that.
enough.
It might be hot enough. Pick 'em. Boy, we all had a rough week. There was a lot of weird stuff going
A
on.
lot of upsets.
And, our buddy Thad down there hung in there with some spectacular picks and finished the week 10-5, which is the worst winning record of any week so far. So, 60.
I don't mind being the tallest midget in the room.
At 67% for the week, Thad brings it home. But a
Can
lot
I
of
say midget?
you did.
Can I?
You can't say it twice.
You can. You already did. It doesn't matter now.
Well, I need to know for future reference, or should I call them little people?
I tell you what. Here's what will happen. We'll get feedback, and we'll see what people say.
Sure, we'll get feedback.
And
Okay.
if you can't, I'm sure someone will let you
If I
know.
say it this way, would it be more politically correct? I don't mind being the biggest littler people out of everybody.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can say that, but I think everybody's confused now. So
Okay.
Just think of it this way: life is too short to be small.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, the South Lake loss to Trinity. We all missed that one. South Lake was up by 17 at halftime and ends up losing.
That's what we get for putting our hopes and dreams into the Dragons.
Yeah. What's wrong with us thinking that they could do that? The Florida LSU game, and LSU goes into the swamp and wins there. Did y'all hear that? The Gator crowd singing
Yes.
I Won't Back Down. Tom Petty in tribute.
Because Petty's from
He's from Gainesville. Yeah.
or Gainesville.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was pretty neat. So
90,000 people singing.
Kudos to them. And then Michigan State goes into Ann Arbor in the big house and upsets the Wolverines.
I know it wasn't a pick'em game, but golly, OU.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
That was PU.
I tell you what, my son texted me. He goes, because Sherry and I were out of town, and he goes, "Don't tell Sherry, but I'm going to go on Amazon and get an Iowa State jersey and have it overnighted so I can be wearing it when she comes home." He goes, "I might even put it on the dog." Yeah, that was, and I didn't see it. We were out doing stuff, but I heard it was 31-10 at one point. OU was winning, and things just fell apart.
Yeah, they hit the coast button.
Ah,
It's like the Texas A&M of a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the
Remember how they'd
Rowlett.
always be ahead?
yep. Yeah. Well, and good,
They did
kudos.
that this year against UCLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Kudos to the Aggies for kind of hanging in there with Bama. Again, I didn't see that, but it seemed a lot closer than I expected it to be. They get the Gators this week. Speaking of which, did y'all see the Gator uniforms they're wearing this week?
Some of the ugliest.
I think they're
uniforms
cool.
I've ever seen.
They look like gator skin. I'll have to show them to you here in a little bit.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We got another Oregon on the net.
Oh, it's great. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, there were a lot of upsets last week, and so Thad wins the week at 10-5, and everybody else was 8-7. So it was very different this week. It wasn't 50%. We'll see how everybody does. We got Allen and Plano, and I haven't got all the
McKinney and Geyer, and then we got Plano West against Wiley.
Boyd and
against
East. Here's a really good
Martin
game.
versus Mansfield. That is
Boyd and
gonna be
East?
good.
No, Mansfield and Martin.
Mansfield.
Yes.
Martin is going to tear up Mansfield. That's my prediction.
I think so, too.
That's at Mansfield.
Westlake and Lake Travis.
Be a good game.
Woodlands, Beaumont, Westbrook.
When Beaumont Westbrook is undefeated going into the Woodlands, who has one loss, so
Interesting.
that could be.
LSU Auburn. North Texas UTSA. We got a couple alums that have played and are playing for each one of those teams.
Yep.
It's going to be a good one. Kansas State and TCU. West Virginia, Texas Tech.
Ugh,
No.
bless your heart.
Which reminds me, did everybody see Tenio's Hail Mary catch?
Oh my God.
Go Tenio,
Holy
baby.
cross.
Man.
He had two
Only got
touchdowns that
touchdowns.
game.
Really? I didn't see that.
I forgot he was there.
Yeah, that second
Yeah.
Tenio catch looked like a number 80.
Lee Morris.
Lee Morris.
Morris.
Yeah.
You know, that little down in the corner of the end
Yeah,
zone.
he
That
was
great.
crossing and boom, right to him.
That
That
was
was-
awesome to
catch.
see.
So way to
good
go,
to
Tenio.
Yeah, way to go,
Way to-
Tenio. Connor
way to-
Limpert gets his first
Yes.
field goal for Arkansas.
58-yard field goal.
So kudos to
They've been
that.
good from 58.
Yeah. So Arkansas is going to have a little competition. That's the next game in our pick'em. They're playing against Alabama, and it's an away game for Arkansas. So Nolan, go ahead and start crying into your towel now. 'Cause
Connor might get the opportunity to kick several
man.
field goals.
He
in that
might,
game.
if they even cross midfield. We'll see.
So, and then we got Arizona State playing Washington.
Which I picked because we have alumni all over the field there, with Chad and
Levi Onwuzurike playing for Washington. He's
So-
doing great on defensive line.
Florida and
Florida,
A&M.
A&M, Texas A&M, and Florida. That should be another disappointment for the Aggies. We'll see.
I don't know. They're playing it. I don't know. Florida surprises me. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, they always have super stud defense, but they can't score any points.
Isn't that amazing? A school like Florida can't score any points, and it's been that way for years. They struggle down there getting.
I think maybe the checks have been bouncing.
Something's been going wrong. And then finally, last but least, we've got
Texas OU.
Texas OU.
Bowl.
Snoozer Bowl. I think it'll be
I
entertaining.
think it's always a good game.
You better have awakened.
Yeah. I wonder, if they start off slow, I wonder how long it'll be before the Kyler Murray chants start from the OU sideline.
Oh,
If
give
Baker.
me free tickets, anybody. I'll go down there and start chanting Tyler Murray in the first quarter, baby.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That game's always fun. If you've never been to a Texas OU game, you need to go because it's a really cool college
Yeah, it's
I want
atmosphere.
to I want to be the guy that sits right where he's got a half burnt orange shirt and a half.
Right on the 50, baby.
What time's that game start?
2:30.
Oh, it's
2:30 game this year.
late game.
Yeah.
It's late. Sometimes it's 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's the late game, or not late, middle of the afternoon game. So that'll be fun. So those are our pick'em games this week. We'll let you know how everybody did. But got some not really high-profile games, but a lot of interesting games this week.
Interesting matchup.
Not-
It's going to force us to think a little bit, and luck is going to play some
Yep.
play a role.
Well, does anybody have anything else? Open the floor.
Yeah, I know we always said we're going to steer clear from religion and politics.
Yep.
Amen. Amen.
Can we
You want to put both of them on the table tonight?
No.
I
I
just
just
asking.
want to know if it's
The
okay.
Pope's running for president.
The Pope.
I just want to know, is it okay to talk about bodily functions?
I think we can allow that.
Okay.
We'll give you some latitude here, brother.
I just
need to
wanted to
leave.
know. No, I have nothing to say about it. I just want to know if it's okay. I know it's offensive to some people, but it's natural.
It can
It's
be.
natural. It's like a natural remedy.
Which
to
bodily
indigestion.
functions are you talking about?
Any function that your body can
Punctuate.
punctuate.
Sneezing, burping, tooting,
Coughing.
earwax.
Ooh, earwax.
Oh well, I don't know.
What do you have?
Do you have something in your mind, or you just asking?
I was just asking.
Oh, okay.
In case something happens in the future, you know.
Yeah. What? Are you been watching those Dr. Pimple Burst on YouTube or whatever?
Oh no, I don't watch YouTube. That's the devil.
Is that what they teach you
Mama
at church?
says YouTube is the devil.
YouTube is the devil. Only thing I watch on YouTube is Allen Eagle highlight games and stuff like that.
No. Okay.
Okay, I got a little something.
All right.
All right. So before I came over here, my son, who's a senior, he has a what do you call that? Dual credit literature,
Oh, so he's a
English
smart
literature,
kid. Gotcha.
something. And it was kind of funny because he's reading a story about Oedipus, the Greek,
Oedipus Rex?
Yeah,
Yes.
the whole complex guy.
the whole Greek guy who brings a whole new meaning to Yo Mama. But anyway, so he's sitting there listening to it and telling me about these different things that his teacher likes them to watch. And he goes, check this one out. And so he turns on Thug Notes.
Thug Notes?
It is the funniest thing you've ever seen. There's this guy who's acting like a thug, sitting on a couch, like this red velvet couch in the middle of a library with books all behind him. And he's trying to explain the whole Oedipus Rex deal. And if you ever want something funny to watch, which is educational also, go to Thug Notes.
I think
Cliff
I'll do
Notes.
Oh, like Cliff Notes.
But it's the thug version.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Which is,
So, what's your point?
My point is this pin that's going to be right in your eye.
All right.
Thug
So
Notes.
we've
Thug Notes.
Thug Notes.
coming to blows.
So-
an educational experience.
Is-
Check out Thug Notes.
Are you saying it's BEBC approved?
I'll leave that up to y'all for next time, just to check out some Thug Notes, to get your literary
Is that, remember last week when I brought those books in here that I wanted y'all to read? There is actually Thug Notes reading those books, which is where I got the idea for us to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some rap stars
Oh,
trying to read. Yeah, he's got them right
on
here.
YouTube, brother.
Yeah.
yeah,
Check it out.
I just saw a Dr. Seuss one when you showed me that.
Lord of
So
the Flies, it's just
So-
all sorts of stuff.
But
50
I just
Shades
thought
of
I
Grey,
would
we don't
bring
wanna
that
do
to our attention because
public service announcement.
Exactly, because I know that our kids get nothing but the best over there at AHS.
That's right. That's the way it rolls. Nothing but the best. All right. Another week.
One last thing.
Go.
We already talked about this last week. Shut up, James. Did we say goodbye to Tyson?
We did
We
not.
didn't.
And you
shout
know,
out, shout out to the shorts.
he was there this week, but he was in his district uniform, not his.
No, I didn't
And he didn't look up when we whistled at him, so I don't know what that means if he turned over a new leaf. But
Like Adam did? Oh, never mind.
wow. But yeah, our buddy Tyson Parks
SRO to the stars.
Retired from the Allen Police Department after, 80 years of work there.
Yeah,
At least.
had to be. He still had some good legs. We saw him every week with those shorts on, but
And has moved on to the district. Works for Allen ISD now, and
security group within the district.
that's awesome. And so he's still around. He's just not doing police work, but he's going to be around. But,
He's all uppity.
he might be all uppity, and we
He's got
might be
an
below his
attitude
pay
now,
grade at this
yeah.
point. So, as part of the, well, I guess we're still paying his salary, but I was thinking as part of,
Really?
Yeah, I know. Now through different taxes, you're paying his salary. But shout out to him. He was always great with us, and wish him the best in his new role. He'll still be around. We'll still get to bug him, and we'll figure out something good for Tyson before the season's out.
Congratulations, Tyson. Good luck.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you. So
That's it.
that's it for you.
Bye.
That's all I can think of. Give me a minute.
Anybody else? We're still open for 'em here. All right. Well,
All righty.
again, Allen, Plano, Friday night, 7:30 at Eagle Stadium. Hopefully,
Pink out.
it is pink out. Wear your pink. Support the Eagles. And until next time, it's over, and we're out.